I think some of the people who are going to most benefit when this does pass are the elderly, are those who are diagnosed with terminal diagnosis. Because as Anthony Bossis at NYU shares with us, we don't die well in America. We just don't. And to be able to provide the elderly who are fearful of the next step, to be able to provide those who have a diagnosis that says you're terminal, and you know it's right there looking in your face, I think these people will significantly benefit from the passage of this initiative, because we're all terminal, but they're particularly stuck in this existential anxiety. And my hope is that this will, as been shown with the studies by Dr. Ross and Dr. Anthony Bossis at NYU, that it's really, really helpful for those with end-of-life anxiety.
Yeah, I think, it really cuts across the population. This is a medicine that, again, the change agent is the experience itself. So in some ways, you are working through this experience, and so you go where you need to go. Okay, and so that's going to look different for different people. This is not a medicine that you have to pop a pill every day and that targets specific symptoms. This is an opening up and perhaps an opening of doors to past traumas that you've kept locked away. Perhaps it's working through stuck thinking. Perhaps it's opening up to the cosmos and having a spiritual experience. It's really about what you're ready to open, and it allows you to go places that maybe you wouldn't otherwise go. So that's really the mechanism there. So it really means that this is a personal journey, and so that kind of fits our thinking around therapy. We're kind of saddened by the loss of depth psychology and therapies that go under the surface a little bit and really address root issues rather than suppressing symptoms, targeting very narrow symptomatic bands. Now, this incredibly can happen relatively quickly with a few doses, so that's another aspect of this, but it goes under the hood, so to speak, and really works with those root causes. And so I see it as the people's medicine. I see it as cutting across different demographics.
I think another group that will benefit from the use of psilocybin in a psilocybin-assisted therapeutic format would be veterans. Mm-hmm. We know that they struggle for so long, for many years, to the point where they're suicidal just because of PTSD. And I think that if we can help them to be able to revisit their trauma in an environment where they feel safe, with a mind that's cross-talking, not just fear, but also hope and joy and courage, and to be able to have that crosstalk in the brain and come out on the other side, perhaps maybe even having had a challenging experience, but come out on the other side and to be able to make sense of it. I think that veterans will be served well from the passage of this initiative.
I think it really does break patterns, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Think of addictions.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of a fundamental therapeutic principle that you have to turn toward the anxiety, turn toward the challenging material if you're going to work through and grow. And so addictions and some other issues that we face are really about not knowing how to do that and getting in the habit of turning away. And with regard to addictions, it's using substances to avoid, right? It's kind of a generalization of the issue. Now here's a medicine that provides a certain openness in your experience where you can step in the direction of the difficult material and have a sense of being able to go there. And that's the beginning of change and healing. Mm-hmm. And we see that in individual therapy, but this is a tool, an option that I think is going to help so many.